Want to learn some psychology? Tough? You're going to. Trauma memories aren't stored like normal memories, and that's why you experience all those symptoms of nightmares, intrusions, and associations where you get triggered by things out and about. Under high levels of stress, your brain starts to work totally differently. It gears everything towards getting through the moment. Now, in order to understand this, you need to think about how the brain really works. Nothing you see, nothing you hear is really what you see or hear. It is your brain's construction of it, and it takes the sensory information and then your higher level cortices, higher levels of processing come together, and then you see, hear things. And you don't know this because the brain is so incredibly clever, you don't pick any of it up until you have a trauma memory, and then you see what's happening. Trauma memories are laid down fast and dirty. They're laid down quite often at a low resolution. There's not enough upper level processing that's occurred. And typically what happens for a lot of people after a big event, when your brain goes into that state, in the days, the weeks afterwards, your brain goes back to that memory and goes, I gotta do stuff around this. I didn't get to do it at the time, but I'm a brain and my job is to process stuff, so I gotta get this processed. And then a lot of people naturally, bunny ears, naturally process the memory. PTSD occurs when that doesn't happen. And one of the reasons it doesn't happen is because every time your brain tries to process the memory, it gets overwhelmed. It sets off your nervous system and you go back into that same survival state where your brain isn't capable of processing information. And around we go. How do you experience that? You get the nightmares, you get the intrusive images, and you get this other thing where your brain has made associations. And this is what people talk about when they go out and they get triggered by colours, by items, by things like this, because your brain has made an unhelpful link, probably too general a link to something. So the classic example is a veteran. A veteran might associate loud noises with gunfire, with pain, and therefore every time they hear a loud noise, it sets off that signal of danger, pain, something like that. And the problem is, the noise is too general. There's too many safe instances of loud noises. And so for the veteran, their system's getting set off way too much in a way that's not very helpful because the association wasn't helpful. But your brain was doing its best at the time and it was just going, let's just remember what we can, make the links where we can, because if we get through this is all important for us to know. So trauma memories aren't stored like normal memories, and that's why it feels very present, very now, like it's happening again, which is a flashback. Good news is PTSD is a very treatable condition. It's tough work, don't get me wrong. The brain is quite often capable of processing this if we can get the ingredients right to process it. And that's why therapy for PTSD, it can really help you settle that memory. You're not going to forget it, but it's going to settle that memory in a way that allows you to move forward. Just something to think about. Okay, bye.